NBA Jam was a game that came out on the Nintendo 64 in the late 90s. It was the fourth in a relatively long-running series of NBA Jam games, and, well, just take a look. It was developed by and published by Acclaim, who aren't really known for too many games that are good on the N64, since all they did were sports games, and you'd think that having, I think, at least one under the belt by this point, they'd make this game a little bit better. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I started off NBA Jam 2000 with relatively high spirits. You know, the 64 is a pretty fun platformer, and I enjoy a basketball game from time to time. I quickly jumped into the character selection screen and was presented with visions from my Night Terrors. It gives you a couple presets to create your own character, and there's a couple body type presets. There's Skinny, Muscle Man, and then Big Man. And Big Man is just a mess. Just, oh my god. I don't know how you mess up modeling that much unless you are reading, you're doing a reading from the Necronomicon. I started playing around with the character selector and quickly made my guy. Gave him some sweet-ass looks and made him from the School of Hard Knocks. I was able to change the first name to Booty, but I wasn't able. It wouldn't let me go into the last name. I don't know if that was just a game error, or maybe it's just my copy. I don't know, but I was unable to give him the last name of Clapp. After creating my character, I quickly went back into the jam session style of play and was about to start up a new jam, and yeah, went through. I clicked on that, and then it decided, I guess, to not use my character, but we're going to go with the pro characters. I must have done something wrong, but you'd think it would be kind of, I don't know, maybe I was supposed to do an exhibition or some sort of continuous thing instead of just an instant game. But anyway, I decided to go with the Wizards, because if you can see from before, I picked Emerald Glasses, and we're taking these bitches to the Emerald City. The game began, and immediately upon the game beginning, I noticed quite a few problems. First off, I was in some sort of turbo mode that I couldn't figure out how to turn off, and what that did was it made the game go quite a bit faster, so this is just how it was for me for the entire game. The models don't look much better than the character creation scene was going to promise, especially with awkward butt models. The game itself controls relatively smoothly. I didn't feel like my controls were delaying, or it didn't feel sluggish or anything like that. The movement at least felt smooth. The buttons, I couldn't really figure out what they all did, and pausing didn't really give me any answer either. It must have been some other screen in the menus, but who wants to go all the way back and exit the game once you're already going? So I just kind of said, screw it, I'm just going to hit buttons, and it will probably work. The court itself looks fine, and the atmosphere, the announcers are pretty on the ball. Although I was a little bit bummed that the announcer doesn't shout out, "How about this, Jazz?" But maybe it's because I wasn't playing as Utah. But I don't know. Where are you, Dan Roberts? Now let's talk about the AI. The other team is the best team ever. That is just how it is. Your team is sucky and has little cardboard armor while they're prancing around as knights in shining armor. My teammate varied between having random bouts of incredible shooting prowess, as you can tell, where he just makes a goddamn shot from half court, to having absolutely zero defense capabilities. He will just let the other team go right by him. Occasionally he'd steal, but it was just real piss poor sort of programming on Acclaim's part. But I finally found out how to pass instead of just shooting accidental three-pointers constantly. And when I learned how to pass, I learned that the square button could make my teammates force pass back to me. And I would just abuse the heck out of this to try and to try and get some shots in there. Now, I did make a couple pretty good shots, even one dunk at one point, but I was just real terrible at the game. We started coming back, I think around 20 points or so. We had a pretty good run, but it was a very one-sided match. But there was also something where my teammate went up to what I believe was about to dunk the ball, and I hit the pass button, and it just zip-lined out of his hand and went straight for me. I don't know all the rules to the jam session, but I guess your teammates can just knock you over, but, you know, whatever. My final complaint about this game happened at the very end, no less. The fourth quarter ended, it said end of fourth quarter, and then just went straight to the menu. No even announcing who won the game. It was very unceremonious, and didn't feel like how a basketball game would feel if a team won. You know, there'd be a little parading. Maybe I had to win to get that. Maybe I had to earn it. I don't know. Strickland, it's the pass. Strickland.